Your thoughts become things. Did you know that on any given day, 60,000 thoughts run around in your brain, all crazy, just all over the place, right? 60,000 thoughts. That's crazy, right? Well, in this episode, we're going to talk about how your thoughts become things. My name is Michael Ferrara, and I help entrepreneurs and network marketers build a business and a lifestyle that they truly love and enjoy by teaching them how to unlock their inner power. So what you think about, you bring about. So what are you consistently thinking about? Are you thinking about negative things, negative events, negative occurrences, just drama, negative gossip? Or are you thinking about positive things? What's this positive outcome going to be? I'm so happy and grateful for whatever. So which way are you thinking? Are you more negative or are you more positive? See, this is a very important question, because if you look at your life right now and you look at where you're at, everything that you have, where you're at, in life and everything has to do with the things that you thought about. Because what you think about, you bring about. Whether you know it or not, your thoughts are creating your reality. So if you look at where you're at right now, are you where you want to be? But the real question is what thoughts led you to where you are? See, with your thoughts, they can go either way, right? So you're probably thinking, yeah, well, I have these positive thoughts, right? But I also have these negative thoughts, right? The angel and the devil, right, on your shoulder, right? So the one thought is like, man, it's going to be awesome when I'm a millionaire. Or I'm so happy and grateful that I have, the house of my dreams. Or the business that I want. Or the health that I want. I'm so happy and grateful I don't have any more pain. Or whatever it is. You think this, but then in the back of your mind, there's that other thought, right? Like, yeah, right, dude. Like, you're ever going to be able to afford that house? Or you're just going to have to learn to deal with this pain because you're always going to have this pain. There's nothing you can do to fix it. The doctor said you have to take medicine. Oh, whatever it is, right? So you have the good thought and then you have the bad thought, and they contradict each other. So which one manifests? Which one of those thoughts become your reality? And the simple answer to that is the one that gets the most feeling. The one that gets the most emotion is the one that's going to manifest. So you're going to have both those thoughts. You can't stop it. So don't even try to stop it. You're going to have the good and the bad, and they're going to collide, right? But it's the one that you give the most feeling to, the one that creates the most emotion, and that vision is the one that's going to become your reality. So you want to be very careful on which one of those thoughts or feelings that you give the most energy towards. So in every episode, I like to give you a valuable resource. And in this episode, I'd like to personally invite you to a free webinar that I did. How to attract more money. How to become a money magnet. See, like we were talking about, what we think about, we bring about, right? So if you can visualize it, and you can feel good about it, and you can make it reality, wouldn't you want to know how to do that? Well, I put together a free webinar to show you how to do that. So click the button below, get registered for this free webinar, and start becoming a money magnet. Start attracting more money to you. That sounds awesome, right? Well, it is, and it can be. So click the webinar, click the link to the webinar, get signed up, and I will see you on the inside of that webinar. All right, so we know that your thoughts can contradict each other. So now you're probably thinking, all right, Michael, well, if that's so true, what about all these other things that I have acquired or have happened to me that I never even thought about? And this is a good question, and this is a valid point. And the way I kind of want to explain this is, I'm going to use a GPS analogy, right? Because we're all familiar with the GPS now. I mean, pretty much every vehicle you get into has a GPS, right? So let's just pretend, put on our pretend hats here, and let's say that we're going to go down to Florida. All right, so what do? We get into our car, we pop open that little GPS, and it says what? What's your final destination? Where do you want to go? So you put in the address. And here's the key thing here. It doesn't care where you're at, because it already knows where you're at. It doesn't care how you want to get there. It doesn't care. It already knows how it's going to get you there. All it cares about is You tell me where you want to go and I will get you there. Okay? So, you put in the destination, you click go, you put the car in drive, you push the gas pedal, and you start following along. Right? So now the question is, that's what you thought about. You thought about that final destination. So what about all those things in between that happens? So you just so happen to get this craving for the restaurant on the way, so you stop at this particular restaurant where you met this really nice young lady that was your waitress, had a beautiful smile, and just brightened up your day, right? Or you just happened to stop at this particular gas station and you met some interesting gentleman, or whatever it is. Or some dude cut you off and kind of got you all rattled, right? Because maybe you're falling asleep and this guy cut you off and now you're more alert. So all of these things, all these people that you meet, all those, chain of events that happened, you weren't thinking about, but they happened for a reason. See, I don't believe in coincidences. Everything happens for a reason. Whether we know what that reason is or not, it doesn't really matter. But it's right in line with where we want to go. The universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is guiding us to where we need to get to. It's introducing us to people and events that we need in our lives to get us to that final destination. We let them know where we want to go. We let the universe know, we let God know this is where we want to go, and it's up to God, it's up to the universe to get us to that place, right? So certain things have to happen to get us to where we want to go to. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So the things that you don't think about that just come into your life or happen to you are all happening for a reason, and all are a part of that plan that you put out there, right? Because we're all energy, and we put out that energy, we put out that vibration into the universe, to God. We're letting them know what we want, and it's just going to make sure that it gets us to it. Gets us to where we want to get to, right? So all those little things in between are just part of the plan. So with what we think about, we bring about, right? And I just want to give you a quick example that happened this week. Well, actually last week, because this is Monday now. But what happened to me, which was kind of crazy. So me and my wife Noelle were talking, and we were on a walk, and there was a smell in the air, and it reminded me of a pig roast, right? Like, I maybe went to 1 or 2 pig roasts in my life, but I remember what a good time it was. The pig in the ground cooking all day, and the smell, and people running around and just having a good time. Well, 2 days later, I get a call from one of my good clients, and he says, "Hey, did you get my invite to my wife's 50th birthday party?" I was like, "No, I didn't get it." He's like, "Oh, okay, well, you're not the first person. For some reason, the invites didn't go out. But we are having a pig roast, and we are going to have a bunch of activities. So bring all the kids. We're going to have slides. We're going to have games and all this fun stuff." And I was just like, how crazy. I just thought about this pig roast, just telling my wife about it, and then not 2 days later, all of a sudden, bam, here it is, right? So what we think about, we bring about. So this brings me to the next thing I want to talk about here. Now, you may or may not have read the book, The Secret to a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. Okay, but in this book, he talks about a formula. And the formula is T plus F plus A equals R. Our thoughts create our feelings create our actions, and our actions produce our results. Now in the book, he goes one step further and talks about P before that, natural programming. We're not going to go over programming here because we're running a little bit long on time here, but the T, so the thoughts. So what you think about, you bring about, right? So if you look at your results, because too many people look at their results and they don't like where they're at. So they try to fix, where they're at. They try to fix the end result. It's like putting a Band-Aid on, something that's broken, but it's still broken, right? We're not really fixing the real problem. So when you think about your results and you're not happy where you are, you have to go all the way back to your thoughts. What thoughts created your feelings, which created the actions, which produced the results? So if you're scared to death to make a phone call, you're scared to death to prospect someone, you're scared to death you're scared out of your, bejesus to ask for what you want. So that thought, that fear, is going to prevent you from doing that activity or that action to get the result that you really want. So the thought creates that feeling. But think about something that you're super excited for. You're just like, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to do whatever. And then that feeling of energy, of excitement, creates that action that you go out and actually do it and produces that positive result, right? But when it's that negative result or that negative feeling, it prevents that activity or the action from happening, which blocks that result, right? So in the book, he talks about, think about when you type up a note, type up a blog, type up a presentation, right? And you misspell a word in that document. You hit print on your computer. When it comes out of the printer, that misprint is there, right? So you're like, well, no big deal. I'll just erase it. So you go out and you buy this awesome eraser. I mean, you have the best eraser you've ever seen, right? And you erase that wrong spelling. You just erase it out of there. You're like, done, perfect. Hit print again. Paper comes out. What? Yeah, that misspelling is still there. So you're like, okay, maybe I didn't erase it properly. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a book. I'm going to buy a 300-page book on how to properly and effectively erase this. So you read the book. And you even go out and you buy a bigger eraser. You buy the baddest eraser you could ever find. Because you thought the last one was good, but this one's going to do it. This one's awesome, right? So now you erase that letter. It's definitely going to work this time. You hit print again. Go over to printer and what? Yeah, that misspelling is still there. Why? Because that's the result. The error, the problem was in the programming, was in the original paper that you typed out. Right? So no matter what you do to that end result, it's never gonna change it. You have to change the program. You have to change where it came from. So I went a little bit into programming, which I wasn't going to, but we went there, which is fine, right? It happens. So you just got to remember, if you want to change your outer world, you got to change your inner world, right? And always remember, your thoughts become things. So what you think about, you bring about. All right, we're wrapping this one up here. This one went a little long, but this is very exciting. You know, I like this topic. This topic really gets me excited. I love talking about it. I love teaching it. I love presenting it. So just remember, all things are possible if you believe they're possible, right? So what do you believe in? You know, and I put together a 6-week course. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, the Positive Money Mindset. You know, how to really unlock your inner game, and it's an awesome course. You guys can check it out. But in this episode, I want you to get registered for that free webinar. Okay, get registered for my free webinar. You know, and how to attract more money to you, become a money magnet. And in this webinar, I'm gonna talk about things that maybe are preventing you from getting to where you want to get to. I'm gonna talk about, you know, your comfort zone. Is it good or bad? You know, because a lot of people think about the comfort zone, they think it's good. We're gonna talk about that. So click the button, get registered for this free webinar, and I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up, but as always, you know, I like to do a question of the week. And the question of the week for this week is, in this episode, is what is that one thing that you think about that you would just be amazed when it becomes reality, right? Like, what is that one thing? Like, you know, think about that perfect house. You know, like, I envision myself living in this perfect house. And you get that feeling. Now, what would it feel like? What would that one thing be? And then 2, what would it feel like for you to wake up in that house one morning and then all of a sudden realize, like, hey, I'm living in the house that I found in a magazine, I cut out, or I envisioned years ago. How mind-blowing would that be? I mean, would that be awesome or what? Because it happens, and it will happen if you learn how to use this, and you really start to know what you think about, you bring about, and you get the positive feelings about those things that you want. It'll come to you, you know? So just always be aware of your thoughts, right? Your thoughts are going to go crazy. Your thoughts are going to run around all crazy, which is fine. It's going to happen. I mean, 60,000 thoughts a day, you know, so, but just remember, the ones that get your most energy, the ones that produce the most feelings, those are the ones that are going to become your reality. So it could be good or it could be bad. So just be aware of that, right? Give more of that energy and more of that good feeling towards those things that you want, the positive things, and not so much the negative. All right, so that wraps up this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a little long. I do apologize for it. I rambled a little bit, but hey, I'm a rambler. Rambling happens, but thoughts become things, right? And thoughts just keep popping into my head. So I just wanted to share those with you. We're back here next Monday, so make sure you come check us out. And remember, tomorrow on Tuesdays, we're going to do a Facebook Live, and we're going to talk more about how your thoughts become things. Pretty exciting, right? So I hope you join me there. You know, I really like seeing you guys on the Facebook Lives. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you because you guys are awesome. So thank you so much. Go out there, make this week an awesome week. And always remember to smile. It feels good. It looks good on you. And be sure to get signed up for my free webinar. Look forward to seeing you on that. And then I'm going to leave some free resources below this message that you can pick up, like the Secrets to the Millionaire Mind, some good books that you can read that can really start helping with that mind shift. Because once you know how to shift your mind to the positive, man, things are awesome. Things happen. It's amazing, you know, what can happen when you have the right mindset. And just remember, all things are possible if you believe they're possible. So believe they're possible. See y'all later. Have a good week. We'll talk to you. Bye-bye.